Hello all. I've been an IT guy for over 36 years. I have 9 certifications, and now I'm learning how to do video editing and other things. Still continuing to learn. My name is Scott, and let's start this off with one of the most common questions I get asked. How can I pick the right computer? What is right for me? It's going to come down to what you need the computer for, what you want to accomplish with it, and how much you can and want to spend. CPU, or Central Processing Unit, is gauged its speed in gigahertz, around 2 to 4 gigahertz. I think 3 point something is probably the top right now. And they also have cores. Think of cores as multitasking. So just like we can walk and chew gum, so can the computer. Memory. Memory is also referred to as RAM. That is non-volatile memory, temporary memory. It's working memory. RAM stands for random access memory, carryover from a long time ago. There is the minimum an OS says. Like for Windows, it's about 4 gigs minimum. That's just for the operating system. That does not include any applications you want to run on top of it. So at least 8, I would say, as a minimum, and 16 or 32 gigs recommended or preferred. And you've got swap memory. Swap memory is a file on the hard drive that when you swap between applications, it writes the old application to the hard drive, kind of holding it, and then opens up the memory, the RAM, for your new application that you're swapping to. This is a slower process. The more physical RAM you have will cut down on how much it has to swap to the hard drive, which is slower. You have different storage mediums. You have SSDs, which is solid state drives, and you also have the mechanical hard drives. SSDs, the only downside to them really is a limited number of writes. It's quite up there. It's like 100,000 writes to one specific spot. So you want to be careful using an SSD as a scratch drive, something that you are constantly writing to and then deleting and replacing. That constant overlay of writes can cause a problem and cause the drive to fail at some point in the future. But like I said, that's quite up there. It's hard to kill an SSD, and it's a lot faster than a traditional hard drive. But I utilize both myself. Then you have storage, or video. Video, you have GPUs, or graphic processing units, which also run faster than a CPU because it's not doing anything other than graphics. So the more GPUs you have, the better. And video RAM, dedicated for video processing. When it comes down to how much you need in each one of these areas, depends on what you want to do with it. Like I said at the beginning, Like, what software do you want to use? If you are doing CAD, CAM work, you're going to want probably a decent video card, maybe not top of the line, but with a lot of video RAM and also a decent CPU speed, because that is memory intensive as well, so you'll want a lot of RAM. Gaming, you would need a really good video card, or want at least a really good video card, a good internet connection, and a decent CPU. I was taught this thing early on. You'll always have a bottleneck somewhere, so the trick is to move that bottleneck to a place that isn't going to affect you as much in accomplishing what you want to do with the computer. Okay? So if you don't need much of on the network side, then the network speed isn't really a factor, and you can put that there. You'll see more as you work around with it. And you can always shoot me a line in the comments below, and please subscribe. There's more to come, and I'm learning, and I'm trying to share some of that knowledge with you. Also, I tend to stay away from all-in-ones, like the monitor, your CPU, RAM, DVD drive, all of that is in one piece. I tend to stay away from those because they're harder to upgrade and usually just aren't all that they're cracked up to be. Yes, it takes up a little bit less space on your desk, and for some people it is the right thing to do. And like, if you're just going to use it for finances around the house, that kind of thing, general processing of documents and PDFs and stuff like that, just about anything will do. Be it PC or Mac, whatever you're more comfortable with. I'm versed in both. Also, there's the 3-2-1 rule with your data. Have 3 copies of data on 2 types of media and 1 off-site. Okay? Like I said, shoot me a line if you have any questions. I'll be glad to help and give my insight. Thank you. Have a good day.